How you doing, guys? Fallen Out of Winnie here, and just right off the bat, I just want to say this is probably going to wind up being a longer type video. I'm going to be talking about some stuff that isn't Disney, or a lot of stuff that isn't Disney. So if you don't want to watch this because this isn't a Disney video, no hard feelings. I should have another video soon in the new year and whatnot. But every couple years, it seems like I like to do a kind of a retrospective on what I've been doing, where I've been going in my life. And you guys might not know it, but 2015 was kind of a big year for me. Big, not so much with good and all that stuff, but just big, and stuff happened with my life personally and whatnot. And I figured I'd just kind of talk about them and stuff like that. Because 2016 seems to be pretty interesting. Hopefully, it should be pretty fun. I have my Disneyland trip to look forward to and whatnot. So there's a couple things that I plan on doing in 2016 that I didn't do in 2015 or even 2014 for that matter. So I guess I'm going to try to take you through the last about year and a half and try to explain it. So I guess I want to take you back to around August of 2014. I was getting ready to, I'm getting ready to go to Disneyland and everything. I'd already kind of purchased the tickets. That was already done. And I was still having a kind of a bad time. I'm not sure if a lot of you know, but I deal with depression. That is a big thing, I think, for a lot of YouTubers and whatnot. We're all kind of narcissists, and depression, I do think, plays a big deal in our lives. And we kind of come to YouTube and the community here on YouTube to try to deal with it. So I'm kind of, I'm not like any other guy or unlike any other person, who deals with that. And, I deal with depression. It's something I've dealt with my entire life, and I don't like to make excuses or have it, be an excuse as to why I do things or why I don't do things. But it does affect my life somehow, or sometimes, and it can be tough. Sometimes it can be tough. I've been dealing with a lot. Well, for me, it was a lot. I know. I hear a lot of people say things like, "Oh, well, at least you're not in the hospital, or at least you're not, you have all of your limbs and stuff like that." And yes, that is true. But that's not really fair to, to me. I'm not gonna, downplay, my feelings, because some things. If I was in that situation, I'd have to deal with that too, and I would deal with it in my own way. So I'm not trying to downplay my emotions. That's one thing I've learned over the years, or this last year, is not to kind of downplay my emotions and actually kind of give a damn about myself. Because for a long time I would say, well, there are people a lot worse off than I, and that is true. There are people who are a lot worse off than I, but that doesn't mean I don't get to feel as well. So that's sort of kind of what's going on with me. That was actually really hard to put into words, that sort of feeling and whatnot. But that's kind of where I am, where I was. And at that time, I was a lot worse off than I was, than I am now. And right now, I'm kind of even. I'm very cool. I'm in a good headspace, that sort of thing. Around August of last year, I kind of had a little bit of a breakdown. I tried to keep it away from you guys because it's really easy to put on, the camera and the lights and all this stuff and say, "Oh, hey guys, I'm Fallen 91E and I'm fine. Everything's great. Disney is great, awesome and stuff." But there is a time when I hit, the record button to turn off, and I'm still left with the crap that's going on in my head. So I had kind of a breakdown, and it wasn't very good. It wasn't kind of a good time. I didn't quite like it. And that was kind of when I realized I needed to go to therapy. I didn't go to therapy just then because I, had Disney coming up, and there was some other stuff that I was going to have to deal with, and I knew the therapy was going to be kind of intensive, so I wanted to kind of prep my work for that, that I was going to have to take some time off. And I wasn't sure when her schedules would allow me to go in or whatever, and plus I wanted to find kind of somebody new, because I really wasn't good with, finding therapists and whatnot like that. I had no idea where to look and whatnot. So that's kind of what I did. I just kind of, I kind of went until, just kind of pressed on until, Disneyland, and Disneyland was great. I had a great time there. Didn't really affect me too much. It's hard to really be depressed when you're in Disneyland. But afterwards, there was Halloween, and then I started finally looking for a kind of a full-time sort of therapist to maybe, it was somebody different than I had been to, and I wanted it to be a woman. For whatever reason, I feel more comfortable with a woman than I do with a guy. I don't know why that is, but it is. It was the case. I found a really great person that was close to me, in my budget, that sort of thing, and I started going to see her. And it was different at first because she was asking me questions, and it's kind of awkward when you first start to talk to a therapist because you don't quite know who this person is, if they're really judging you or not, and how much you could say to them while still feeling comfortable. But when you're at a therapist and you do make the choice to go to a therapist, you do need to have a level of openness that you wouldn't have with other people. You have to talk to them. You have to give them stuff to work with. Otherwise, they can't help you. And when you're dealing with something that is purely up here and purely you have to want to fix it. Same thing with losing weight. I know I'm a heavy guy. I know why I'm a heavy guy. It's not like I'm, oh man, you're telling me if I eat less then and work out more, then I'll get skinny? I had no idea. Of course I know. I just choose not to, or I've chosen not to for a year, it seems like, and yeah, so it's not anything new for me, for that. So I knew what I know what I'm doing to myself, and I know it's having a negative effect on my health and whatnot. But at that point, I didn't really care. So it's not like you can just talk to somebody because that's all up here. That's you have to fix yourself up here in order to be able to fix yourself physically. Because that's where the addiction sort of stuff comes in. I don't drink, I don't smoke. Well, a lot. Occasionally I'll smoke a cigar, but that's very occasionally. And I don't really go out and fraternize with people. I don't like to go out and get crazy, or drugs is completely out of it. I mean, the most drugs I think I take are ibuprofen and any cold medication. As you can tell, I'm getting over a cold, but so my only real addiction is food. That's what is my favorite thing. Honestly, it's my favorite thing to eat. What tastes good to me. It's my favorite thing, and it's something that I got to get over, and I have to control and find my kind of zone in there. So that's what I'm kind of working with now. But at that time, I didn't care. I didn't care about any of it, and she kind of understood. And I came in with like a full 18-wheeler truckload of emotion that she had to kind of sift through and find out what to deal with first. So I went to see her for about 2 months, and after that, it worked out. It was working out pretty well, and that takes us into about January. So January, I was dealing with. Not dealing with. My headspace was pretty much kind of like I was everywhere at that point in my personal life. I was happy, I was sad, I was up, I was down, and she was telling me that kind of happens because when you actually start to fully go in depth in therapy, you basically throw up all your emotions in the air and you try to figure out where everything, like, oh, I need this, I don't need that, blah, blah, blah. But while that stuff is up in the air, you are liable, you're just exposed. You're able to feel pretty much anything. And that's a tough thing for some people to, to handle. And I'll get to that in a minute. So January, I was in the process of getting over a girl that I liked, but she didn't like me, and or in that way, and everything like that. And it's kind of for the better, because now, like, like now that I have a level head, it would never have worked between us. But I was so desperate for, I don't know, love. And because I couldn't even love myself. I was so desperate for someone to love me that I, was kind of going for the wrong type of person. I mean, she's a great person and whatnot. It's just, it wouldn't have worked out because we kind of value different things differently. And but we're great as friends. But I don't think we would have been good as compadres, if you know what I mean, or at least at that time. Who knows what's going to be down the line? But at that time, it would totally wouldn't have worked out. But she understood, and she knew before I did, and eventually I kind of caught on, obviously. But she, was working with me, and then she kind of went somewhere else, and so that was kind of a hard thing to deal with, but it was what I needed. I needed to kind of be separate from everybody. And it was around this time that I realized I needed to just kind of take off for as long as I needed to. Kind of, I needed to stop worrying about going out, stop worrying about dating, stop worrying about this. I quit like OkCupid and all the other dating apps and everything like that, just because I didn't know who I was. So I couldn't expect anybody to really, hang with me, because I was just kind of completely, my emotions were not where they needed to be. So February was kind of the same thing with that. I didn't really care that it was, Valentine's Day and whatnot. I was still going to therapy pretty much every week, every week. March rolled around. I really don't think I did too much of that. I had got my wisdom teeth out, which was great. So that was kind of cool. I got my wisdom teeth out there. Got my knees looked at and everything. They're actually feeling better. I want to start going back to the gym soon, because aside from the fact that I need to get back to the gym and lose weight for Disney, I just want to get back and kind of help myself. But again, I'll talk about that later. So March, April, kind of the same sort of stuff, dealing with going to therapy, talking about a lot of stuff. And then May kind of rolled around. Now, May was a big deal. You would not have, I tried not to let you guys see it. You might have noticed it, but probably not, because I'm a damn good actor. But May rolled around, and I attempted. It was tough. I was going through some really crazy, weird stuff in my head. Nothing overtly happened. It just, when all that stuff is up in the air and you're trying to go through it, you can get really high and then really low. And I got really low for about a week and a half, and it just, you make the choice, I guess you could say. You sit there and you make the choice, and you go, maybe I could do this and it wouldn't really affect me too much. What I'm talking about is suicide. It's a terrible word because it's so whatever, it jerks a lot of people back. But at the time, I just didn't really care. I didn't care about anything. I didn't care. And I just kind of was like, it's one of those, like, I wonder what would happen if I drove my car into this wall. I wonder what would happen if this, if I did this to my wrists or something like that. And let me just tell you, if you actually do, commit suicide, it takes a lot of effort, because there's every bit of your body telling you to not do this, but your brain is being a dick and saying you should. And I almost did. So There you go. I said it. It's kind of hard to say online like this because I've told my therapist and whatnot. She got scared, and I had to kind of reassure that I won't do it ever. Because while I was sitting there, I was about to do it. Something went through my mind and said, Nick, if you truly want to do this, go to sleep and see how you feel tomorrow. And I was like, all right, because, it's a kind of a big decision. And most big decisions that I make happen after a good night's sleep. I like to, choose, which job should I take? And let me go sleep on it. Oh, I like this. And I wake up and I kind of, wind up with a clear head and whatnot. And so I did, and I woke up and I didn't want to do it anymore. And then I started to cry, thinking like I almost did it, and I knew something was wrong with me. It wasn't until that point that I realized I had a mental illness. I knew I needed to talk to somebody like months ago, but I didn't realize that at that point, that's a problem. This is a problem I'm going to have to deal with my whole life. Depression there can be little bouts of depression that people have where like if they're losing somebody or losing their job, big, change or whatever. But depression had been with me for my whole life ever since, I was a kid because it runs in my family. It's stupid, And so it was kind of a big thing for me to admit that. And actually, after I did, it was good because it kind of made me understand myself a little bit better. And it was kind of me reacquainting myself with myself, which sounds stupid and idiotic, but that's kind of what I needed to do. I needed to figure out who I was and be okay with who I was. So that was kind of the turning point of this whole thing. So it happened, and around early June, I decided I needed to take a trip just for myself. I hadn't told anybody then, aside from my therapist, what happened because otherwise they'd kind of freak out. What is Nick going to do? He's going to drive away and never come back. No, I knew where my heart was, and I will never, ever, hopefully never, ever try to attempt that again. I have no reason or desire to, because once you do it and you kind of back away, you kind of gain a perspective that other people don't really get to really understand a lot, or at least a lot of people. Excuse me. Sorry, still getting over this thing. So June, I did it. June, I went down to Ocean City by myself, and I just had a good time. And basically, it was, what do you want to do? So that was I had like a long weekend of just asking myself, what do you want to do? Like, I didn't have to worry about making a video. I didn't have to worry about, doing whatever, because I will tell you that sometimes this channel can stress me out a little bit. I have to make a video this week or people are going to get disappointed. I have to do this because people are going to, get disappointed. And that was the first week or weekend that I realized I'm in control of everything in my life. And I'm in control of this channel and whatnot. And if I don't feel like making a video, I'm not going to make a video. If I don't want to, or if I feel, not up to it, I'm just not going to. And I really don't want to have to worry about, other people. Now, I know that these videos sometimes help people, but I don't think me missing a week is going to hurt anybody. If I stop completely, I think, some people might get bummed out. But for the most part, if I take a week off here and there, I'm not going to hurt anybody. But it's more along the lines of me taking control of my situation. And that's what I did. So for that weekend, I just asked, I woke up. I said, hey, Nick, what do you want to do? And I said, go back to sleep. So I went back to sleep for an hour, and then I woke up. Hey, Nick, what do you want to do? I can get up now. And then, I think I want to get this sandwich from this place all the way up in Salisbury. So I went up and got it. And then it's just, that was a whole weekend of just asking what I wanted. And, just trying to see what I liked, see what I didn't like. And it was fun. I came home earlier that weekend. Like, I took a couple days. Sorry. Had a chill right there. And that was kind of fun. it was a cool little experience, and it started my kind of, stuff. So I did that, and I felt happy after that. That was kind of like a big, after all that stuff happened, that was kind of a big turning point for me. So July, August, kind of the same sort of stuff. Didn't really do too much. When people were asking me how I was feeling, it was, I'm feeling better, I'm feeling good. I kept seeing, the doctor and whatnot, and it was pretty good. Pretty good. I honestly didn't do much this year. I haven't talked to anybody about dates. I didn't really go out. My birthday really wasn't, crazy. My summer wasn't crazy. I pretty much just stayed in and did whatever. I figured out that my core, I figured out what my core values were. The things in my life that I care about the most are me, my friends, and my family. Not necessarily in that order. As far as everything else goes, I mean, that all just kind of gets taken by the wayside. The only things I truly, honestly care about are me, or myself, my friends, and my family. And that's kind of good for me. It's what I really needed. Like, I don't worry about my job too much. I don't worry about my car. Nothing really kind of bothers me. I mean, yes, there are certain, days where it's like, oh my God, this is stupid, or oh, this is whatever. But at least I still have my friends, my family, and myself, because those, when the stuff gets going down, those are the support, pillars that you have. And that's, I can lose my job and still be okay because I have a great support system in me, my friends, and my family. So that's what I kind of found out. And I just kind of went, kept going to therapy. Some weeks were better than others. Some weeks I had a lot to talk about. Some weeks I didn't. I talked about a lot about my history, and I traced things back to when I was a kid. As certain events happened when I was a kid that caused me, to think, pretty crappily of myself. I mean, for about 16 years, I hated myself. It was like I truly thought I was a bad person, and I tortured myself because of it. And that really messes with your psyche. I thought, to myself that I was not good. I was a terrible person, and I was not worthy of feeling loved or, being cared for by another person. Even though I wanted it so much, I thought, I wasn't deserving of it. And that's kind of a harsh sentence for yourself, when you tell yourself that you're useless and whatnot. It's not true. It took me forever to realize that wasn't true. And because of that, I'm still suffering this, scars from that, because I realized, when it comes to dating and stuff like that, I can't experience love like everybody else. To me, if I experience love and somebody tries to, be affectionate toward me, that almost kind of hurts me. My body reacts in a way that it shouldn't. If somebody is giving you love, you should be, oh, thank you, and give them love back. Well, if you want them to. If they're like kind of a creeper, then push them away and call the cops. But if it's somebody that you trust and that you love and that you want that affection from, you should be able to accept it. For me, I couldn't. My body doesn't produce the chemicals that allow me to feel that right. So like if somebody starts, oh, Nick, I love you and everything. Like say you're on a date and you start making out or whatever like that. That stuff kind of hurts me. I'm thinking I'm doing them wrong, and I think I'm hurting them even though I'm not. And by doing that sort of stuff, and I should stop and go home and basically chastise myself for that. That's kind of what I believed for 16 years. I tried to put that down, but every time I would go on a date with somebody, I'd go home and just try to hurt myself, in a way. And I didn't actually hurt myself by cutting or anything like that, but I basically felt worse. I stopped caring even more. I ate more to make myself even more unhealthy and more, terrible looking. I tried to make myself unappealing to people because I didn't want to, affect or affect them through myself. It's really hard to understand. Like, to any normal person, it doesn't make any sense, but to me, it makes perfect sense, which is how I know that my way of thinking was completely wrong. And so I had a lot of months of working for that, of working to fix that, and I think I did, because I really don't believe in that anymore. I'm gonna try to just kind of get myself out there and do my best with that sort of thing. I do believe there is a love for me, out there somewhere, and whoever they are, whoever she is, I hope that she can be patient enough with me to kind of help me, through this, because it's weird. I'm a weird guy. I hope you guys are just now understanding that, just how weird I am. But that's kind of where I was for the longest time, and I'm just now getting over that. So, August, September happened, getting ready for Halloween. Halloween happened, and honestly, I usually do a lot for Halloween. I didn't do too much this year because I just wanted to relax and not worry about anything. Same thing with Thanksgiving and Christmas. I didn't really do too much. Aside from getting my brother a new computer, my mother, my grandmother, and myself, we pulled our money together and got him a new computer, and he liked it. That was what I really wanted to see, his enjoyment with that, and all that. So I know I've been talking a long time, and just got a couple more things to say. But that was pretty much my year. It was getting over all that stuff, and there was a lot of ups and downs, and just starting to believe in myself, and I do believe in myself now. That's kind of where I am right now. I believe in myself a lot. I do want to, I hope that 2016 or in 2016 I can do a lot more. I can, have some fun, go out and, with some people and see certain things. I want to kind of, just experience life a little bit more. I will be turning 30 this year. And I know I'm 30 years old, but I don't really have the mentality of a 30-year-old, socially, rather. Because I kind of put myself off for 16 years. So I kind of need to re-expose myself to, certain things, and hopefully maybe I can find somebody to kind of pal around with. I'm not looking for a date or a romantic date or anything like that, if you know what I mean. I'm looking just to kind of feel comfortable in that situation, and, whatever happens there. It's just weird, man. It's like, it's weird to kind of understand and to kind of want. I do plan on going back to the gym and eventually starting to eat a little healthier. I'm not going to put any dates on anything or I need to do this, I need to do that by this time, because I stress out with, deadlines and whatnot, and I don't want to put, stress on myself, because that kind of has a negative effect on me. So we'll just have to see, if I can pull that off. And I might do kind of a weight loss vlog or something like that, just to kind of on here, just to kind of maybe, hopefully get some oomph or some energy from, some of you, maybe, if you guys are interested in that. Just because I need to do this. I need to get healthier. I do care for myself, but this, switching out the stuff that you've been believing for 16 years is hard to do. When you have brainwashed yourself into believing that you are a terrible person and you need to hurt yourself or tear yourself down because you are feeling loved, then, that's something I need to change. And I believe I have changed that, because I have turned a corner in saying, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do this extra stuff. So I'm just kind of, it's almost like I'm a new person right now, and we'll just have to see, where I go with this. I love the fact that I started back up the Wrestle Theme Reviews with my friend Mark. It's just something else that I get to do. My creativity gets to be, replenished there. I'm doing some new stuff with this channel, with the gaming and stuff. I even though you guys might not like it, I like it, and that's why I kind of like to do it. The one good thing about not being paid to be here on YouTube is that I can do whatever I want, and really I don't have to worry about it, because money makes everything worse usually. Once, because my friend Mark sometimes, he'll get some messages from people that say, well, since I pay you on Patreon or with ads and whatever, you should give me content. I don't believe in that. YouTube to me is just a place where people can go and just spout off some stuff. And if other people view and use YouTube as like a television source or whatever, I mean, that's great. I hope you you keep doing that, but it's hard to kind of put into words just how I feel about that. But YouTube to me is still just a person talking to other people rather than a actual TV show sort of things. But if basically I would feel if somebody started paying me money or ads and stuff like that, I would feel obligated to have to make videos rather than choosing to make videos for people. And I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I want to just be able to do what I want to do. And, if people like it, they like it. If they don't, then they can move on. It doesn't bother me. I don't live or die by my subscription count. I live or die by people who enjoy my videos and just say, Nick, we like, whatever you do. And that's kind of what I go for. So there, I said it. So that's what I want to keep doing in 2016. I want to keep doing this. I'll be taking time off randomly because, some weeks I don't want to do this. It's tough to, get the energy to get all this Disney stuff up. But because I'm going to Disney World in October, I'll have a lot of stuff to talk about extra with, as far as vacation stuff goes, especially as we get closer to October. And I'm just looking forward to just trying different things and doing different things. And I hope that, it'll all work out. Again, I'm not really worried about, meeting somebody new. I do plan on trying Mouse Mingle, which is, I initially laughed at, but I said, what the hey. Liking Disney is something that I kind of value in somebody because I like it a lot, or at least, I want somebody that can at least understand my love of Disney and not think that it's totally goofy. And, understand that I'm just kind of a big kid. I can be very, strict and serious in certain times, but that's just who I am. I'm always going to be just kind of a big kid. And, certain people are more adult than I am, and I don't care about that usually. Because I just do my thing. And I really don't worry about anybody else. And that's what I want to kind of keep going with in 2016, to do that. I'm not making any resolutions because I don't want to worry about putting a goal and then not achieving it and then feeling bummed that I didn't achieve it. That's not what I want to do. So 2016 is just hopefully just me getting back into life. I took time. I took a year off of life, and I want to get back into it and try to go do some things. I'm turning 30. Want to have a big birthday bash, hopefully, if I make it to 30. Not because I would do anything to myself, but you never know. I live in Baltimore, and we get crazy. So I hope that I can make it to 30 and make it to Disney and make it beyond that, and I can just be, grow each day and do some stuff, because this is stuff that I never would have said, years ago about myself, and never would have believed, to be honest. I think that's the biggest thing. I never would have believed it, but I do. And I hope that you all had a great year, and if you didn't, you kind of had a weird year like I did. Just know that you're not alone. And if you want to talk about it or anything, you got my File Not Doing Facebook page. You can message me there, and I'll be willing to talk about it, talk to you about it. And we'll just have to see what's going on. And you're not alone. Just know that you're not alone, and I hope it all gets better for you, because it can get better. It will get better. You just got to keep plugging along. That's the only thing I want to say about that is you got to keep plugging along. Each day is different. You don't know how you're going to feel today. You don't know how that's going to happen. So just keep going day by day, and good things will eventually happen if you let them. And and sometimes you need to ask for help, and that's what I did. And my doctor has helped me so very much, and it's cool, to feel kind of optimistic about the new year rather than dreading it, or making these unattainable obstacles or unattainable goals for yourself and then not achieving them throughout the year and then feeling bad about it. So this year I just want to keep being me, keep doing what I do, and maybe introduce myself to some new stuff and new people, and do some new things. And I hope that it'll all work out that way, and I hope it all works out for you guys too. So thanks for listening to me ramble on about this. It was a pretty interesting year for me, and I'm not sure if any of you knew about that other stuff that I talked about, but that's where I was, and where I'm going to be hopefully will be a lot different. But where I am now, I'm very cool with where I am now and who I am now, and I hope to find somebody who is also as cool with me as I am, because I will be cool with them, and then we can be just two cool people being cool, living our lives. Because File 91E does want a Mrs. File 91E, so that would be kind of fun. So hey, here's the mouse mingle, and good luck to me, right? We'll see what's going on, because I'm very awkward when it comes to dating and things like that, for reasons, like I said. So we'll see how that works out. I'm not going to, again, push myself, and if I just have to meet a friend first and then eventually kind of open that part of myself, then I think I can do that. So yeah. So awesome. I'll see you guys in 2016. I may or may not have a video this week. I'm not sure, because I got a lot of stuff to do as far as other videos and stuff that I'm hanging out with people. So we'll see. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I'm not going to live or die by it. But we will just see anyway. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Honestly, thanks for keeping me going, and always being here for me. And I love to get see all your messages and comments and stuff like that. I really do. So you guys rock. I rock. We're all going to rock in 2016. So Happy New Year, everybody, and I will see you in the new year. Bye, guys.